What's going on, everybody? Mr. Jason back here again with another video for you guys. This one's going to be an edition episode, whichever you might want to call it, aiming towards my collection. As you can see back there, there's video games and everything, but this is going to be me showcasing some of my WWE, WWF DVDs. I'll have some ECW, not EC, I'm sorry, my apologies. I'll have some TNA, like Total Nonstop Action, or Impact Wrestling as it's called now. I'll have very few DVDs of that, but during this video, I'm going to separate it into different parts. So there's probably going to be, I want to say, maybe 3 to 4 parts to this whole collection, possibly. I don't want to make too long of videos. This one's going to be focusing on WWF and WWE DVDs. From what I've set aside so far, it seems like it's going from 98 to 2004 up to 2005, possibly. I'm going to go through these stacks that I have here, just showcasing my collection of my WWF and WWE DVDs, not VHS, DVDs and Blu-rays. So we are going to start this off with part of the Attitude collection that they released back. This actually was released in 2002, so they had this in 2002, an Attitude collection. This is WWF Unforgiven from 1998, I want to say, if I remember correctly. This is when, I'll let you guys look on the back. For those, for maybe you couldn't see what was the match card was on here, I'll read it off to you. This had Double J sinning with country sensation Sawyer Brown. A 6-man tag team war between Farouk, Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman versus the Nation of Domination. Odd. I guess that was before Farouk was in Nation of Domination, possibly. The tag team title match with the New Age Outlaws versus the LOD 2000. First ever evening gown match, Sable versus Luna. My cat's name is Luna, that's funny. European Champion Triple H of DX versus Owen Hart with China suspended above the ring in the cage. Oh, I see. Not Owen Hart with China. I read that wrong. China suspended above the ring in the cage. First ever Inferno match between The Undertaker and Kane, and then the championship match between Stone Cold as the champion. And he was versing Dude Love, and it had Vince McMahon at ringside. So, yeah. This was the pay-per-view that had the very first Inferno match ever. We're going to continue on with Rock Bottom in Your House. This was, I believe, also with 1998. This was the one that the main event was The Rock and Austin in the Buried Alive match. And then you had, I'll let you guys just see. If you pause it, maybe, I don't know if you guys are going to be pausing it to look at the match listing yourself. But if you're not reading this yourself, I'll name off the matches. Or even just like the main matches anyways. You get the Headbangers versus the Oddities, the Job Squad versus the Brood, Rock versus Mankind, Goldust versus Jeff Jarrett featuring Deborah, New Age Outlaws for the tag titles, New Age Outlaws versus Boss Man and Ken Shamrock, and I already mentioned the Buried Alive match between Austin and Rock. But these two here are some of the most rare DVDs. These can probably go anywhere between $40 to $60 possibly. And I got them for good prices, which is why I have them. A lot of the DVDs from 98 through 2003 are actually very rare. And next we have the WrestleMania 15, with the main event being Austin and The Rock. I believe it's was their very first WrestleMania match. I shouldn't say I believe. It was their very first WrestleMania match. Beginning their big, huge rivalry that they had through the Attitude Era. The Raging Climax. So with this main event did The Rock and Stone Cold. Then you had Shane McMahon versus X-Pac. Sable versus Tori. Road Dogg versus Val Venus. This was a Four Corners elimination match. I can't even talk. Road Dogg versus Val Venus versus Ken Shamrock versus Goldust. And a Brawl for All with Bart Gunn and Butterbean. Triple H versus Kane. Undertaker and Bossman had the Hell in a Cell match. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett with Deborah versus D'Lo Brown and Test with Ivory. And a triple threat match for the Hardcore Championship. Badass Billy Gunn versus Hardcore Holly versus Al Snow. The Big Show Paul White versus Mankind. I'm just going to try to quickly go through these. I just want to showcase my collection of wrestling DVDs to you guys. This, like I said, is going to be separated into parts right now. This is mainly 98 through 2003. And when it reaches 2004, I think I have some 2004s here, and then I'm pretty much going to stop it there and continue on through 2005 and so on. And a different video. I have them right behind me, right behind there. Right here. As you can see, empty shelves. I took out some of my movies to show you. We're going to continue on. We got SummerSlam, The Body Experience. Yeah, an out-of-body experience, not The Body Experience. An out-of-body experience. SummerSlam 1999. Jesse the Body Ventura was a special guest referee. If you guys want to read the matches there. You got Stone Cold versus Triple H versus Mankind. And a triple threat match for the WWF Championship with Jesse the Body Ventura as the special referee. Love Her or Leave Her street fight with Test versus Shane. A Kiss My Ass match with The Rock and Mr. Ass. And you got Hardcore Championship match, Big Boss Man versus Al Snow with Pepper. That was the dog. I almost forgot who Pepper was. The dog, the Chihuahua. A Tag Team Championship match with Kane and X-Pac versus, I almost said October, Undertaker and Big Show. 2 titles on the line. D'Lo Brown versus Jeff Jarrett with Deborah. A Lion's Den weapons match with Shamrock and Blackman. Women's Championship between Ivory and Tori. And a Tag Team Turmoil between Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus Midian and Viscera versus Draws and Prince Albert versus the Acolytes versus the Hardcore Hollies. These have a lot of nostalgia to them. That's why I have these. I am collecting them. If the price is cheap enough, I buy them. I'm not going to spend like the full value that they're worth, because to me, no DVD is worth like 50 or 60 bucks. But to some people, it is. So I always browse different websites from stores that take trade-ins from people. I browse eBay just in case somebody undervalues the stuff that they're really worth, and then I buy them as cheap as possible. And I can tell you right now, all these DVDs that you're seeing, I paid a lot less than their full value for them. And here we have Royal Rumble 2000. So now we're starting to hit the 2000s. Basically when Austin was slowly hitting his way out due to injuries. We all know Owen Hart with that Tombstone Pile Driver screwing up his neck. Back in, I believe it was, 97? So this here was the 2000 Royal Rumble. Of course, the main event being the Royal Rumble itself. And then second to main, you have the street fight for the championship. Triple H as champion versus Cactus Jack. Tag Team Championship match, New Age Outlaws as champions versus Acolytes. First ever tag team table match, Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys. So this is history alone itself. First ever table match. Triple threat intercontinental title match with Jericho versus Chyna, co-champions. Chris Jericho was co-champions versus Chyna versus Hardcore Holly. Interesting. I vaguely remember that. I remember the whole Jericho and Chyna situation they had, but I don't remember the match itself. And then you have the Miss Rumble swimsuit competition and Taz versus Kurt Angle. And there's special features on here, as you can see right there. I mean, I'm not going to open up every DVD, but I'm just going to show you, like, all of these mostly come with inserts. Then we have here, I don't have full years of these wrestling DVDs. Like, 98, they didn't release many at all on DVD. Unforgiven and Rock Bottom were the only 2 they released on DVD officially. And 99 pay-per-views. I think WrestleMania and SummerSlam, I believe, were the only 2 releases they had for the 1999 events. And once 2000 started coming around, that's basically when they were releasing more and more, but still not a full year. 2001 is when they really started releasing full year DVDs of events. So after the Royal Rumble 2000, they didn't have No Way Out. I believe there was only one pay-per-view between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So here we have WrestleMania 2000. aka WrestleMania 16, of course. This showcased a McMahon in every corner. You had Stephanie with Triple H as the champion. You had Big Show with Shane McMahon, Mick Foley with Linda, and The Rock with Vince in a fatal four-way match. Then you had a first ever two-fall triple threat match for the Intercontinental and European Championships. Kurt Angle champion versus Jericho versus Benoit. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, Vince. I don't care. I'm going to mention Benoit in my video. You got a problem with it? Sorry, bro. Triangle ladder match for the Tag Team Championship. Dudley Boys champions versus Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian. First ever 13-man hardcore battle royal for the hardcore title. And a cat fight between the Cat with Mae Young versus Terry with the Fabulous Moolah with special guest referee Val Venus. Hello, ladies, of course. The Cat. It's always think of Lawler just saying, puppies, puppies. And then we're going to continue on. Basically, with the year 2000, they only released like the big events like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and here, King of the Ring. 2000. You can see here. And we had, what was the main event for here? I believe the main event was the 6-man tag team match for the WWF Championship. Yes, this was the main event. You had Triple H as champion with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon versus The Rock, Undertaker, and Kane. They used to do stuff like that back in the 90s with a title on a line in a tag match. King of the Ring tournament finals. Handicap table dumpster match between Road Dogg, X-Pac, and Tori versus I have hiccups. I'm sorry. With versus the Dudley Boys. First ever evening gown match for the WWF Hardcore Championship. Oh my god, I totally legit forgot about this. R.I.P. to this man right here. We got Pat Patterson, who just recently passed. Rest in peace. Hall of Famer for sure. We have Pat Patterson as champion versus Gerald Briscoe in an evening gown match, guys. Okay. And we have King of the Ring tournament semifinals. 4-team elimination match for the WWF Tag Team Championship between Too Cool as the champions versus Edge and Christian versus TNA versus Hardy Boys. King of the Ring tournament quarterfinals. Chris Benoit versus Rikishi. Val Venus versus with Trish Stratus versus Eddie Guerrero with China. Crash versus Bull Buchanan. Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho. And then you have special features on here as well. If this video ends, it might end because I believe my storage on my phone is becoming full. And if this is going to be too long of a video, it actually might stop itself. So if it does, you'll see some editing in between if that happens. And now we're continuing on to SummerSlam 2000. The one thing that stands out to me the most on here, I believe this is when Steve Blackman versed Shane McMahon. And that's when Shane McMahon was climbing a Titantron and Steve Blackman hit him with a kendo stick and Shane McMahon went, oh, I don't even know how freaking high it was, but Jesus Christ. That's the one thing that stands out to me on here. I believe this is the pay-per-view. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. But I don't see it listed on the back of the case. So for the triple threat for the WWF Championship, we have The Rock as champion versus Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Undertaker versus Kane. 2 out of 3 falls, Jericho versus Benoit. And then Edge and Christian as champions versus Dudley Boys versus Hardy Boys in a TLC match. And Taz versus Jerry the King Lawler. So I could have been wrong of the event where that actually happens between Shane and Steve Blackman, but it's not listed on here. So in the comments down below, I mean, my memory is not spot on when it comes to details, when it comes to looking back on situations in wrestling. For the most part, I'm good at it, but clearly I probably screwed up that moment with the event. Leave it in the comments down below. Correct me for what event it was, or maybe it was this and it's just not listed on here. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. We're going to continue on now. This is beginning 2001. No, wait. My bad. This is still 2000. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. All right, so here we have Survivor Series 2000. The rules have changed. So this one, for sure, I know this is definitely where this actually happens. Stone Cold versus Triple H. It was basically revenge. This is when he came back to find out who hit him on, I believe it was Survivor Series 1999. He was hit with a limo. I think it was a limo. He was hit by a car, and he came back around Unforgiven in 2000, I believe it was, which does not have a DVD release. It's got a VHS release. And he was on a hunt to find out who hit him. It all came down to, it was really Triple H that was the man behind the plan. And that's what this led up to this pay-per-view here. Stone Cold getting his revenge on Triple H. So, of course, he had Triple H in a car, put it up on a forklift and flipped it over, roof first, boom, Triple H supposedly in the car. But that's the main event, Stone Cold versus Triple H. And then you have the WWF Championship match, Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker. You have The Rock versus Rikishi, Chris Jericho versus Kane, and a women's championship match with Ivory versus Lita, plus 4 more matches. Does not list exactly what. I forget exactly what was on this card. But I'm going to keep on moving on because this video is already getting long and we're not even past 2001 yet. Holy crap. I might have to actually cut this short. And in the title will have the years of the DVDs that I'm talking about in this video and showing. I might go through 2001 and stop it there possibly. We'll see. We're at the 16-minute mark right now. So here now we begin in 2001. The Royal Rumble 2001. This case is amazing. I like how they have the art. It's like cartoon kind of animated of the wrestlers. This one here was Stone Cold's 3rd Royal Rumble win. I believe this is the one where Drew Carey also made an appearance, and he's trying to pay everybody to like leave him alone. But of course, you got the 30-man Royal Rumble match to determine the #1 contender for the title, the WWF title. Then you got the championship match, Kurt Angle as champion with Trish versus Triple H with Stephanie. You have the Intercontinental Championship ladder match between Benoit and Jericho. And you have the Tag Team Championship match between Edge and Christian as champions versus the Dudley Boys. Women's Championship match between Ivory and Chyna. And this, I believe, actually came with the insert and everything when I bought it. So, boom, right there. I will say one thing for sure. These older DVDs with the wrestlers, not wrestlers, but wrestling DVDs, I am so sorry I cannot talk properly. The older wrestling DVDs, it's very hard to find them with the chapter inserts. But yes, like I said, one of the main moments I remember from this is Drew Carey. And especially the moment with Kane. He's trying to pay Kane off, and Kane don't care about that money, bro. So in 2000, they actually did not have No Way Out 2001. I believe that was the 3 stages of hell between Triple H and Austin. I think so. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. Let me know in the comments down below. Correct this idiot if he's wrong. Please do. I appreciate it. So this leads up to one of the most memorable WrestleManias of all time for obvious reasons. We have WrestleMania 17, but second WrestleMania match between Austin and The Rock. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about, what happens here. Houston, we have a problem. Boom. So this main event was The Rock as champion versus Stone Cold Steve Austin because he won the Royal Rumble. And I do want to point out, spoiler alert, 19 years later? Spoiler alert, hopefully you all seen this event. At least on WWF Network for $9.99, guys. So basically, this is when Austin aligned with Vince McMahon and turned heel. And then, of course, became part of the 2-man power trip through the year, some of the year of 2001. And with Triple H, of course, that's who the 2-man power trip was. And then it continued on. I'm going to try not to talk too much about the DVDs or reading all the matches like I was doing. I'm noticing I'm taking up too much space on my phone. I don't have much storage left on it. And it's just going to cause for a very extended video. I have so many wrestling DVDs. So I'm just going to kind of just try to showcase my collection and at least just point out the main event at least. So I apologize, guys, if you do not like that format that I'm switching over to now. But just to get through these collections as quick as possible, sometimes I'm going to have to do that. So, okay, we're going from WrestleMania 17, which began the 2-man power trip situation, and it leads up towards Backlash 2001, right here. And the main event of this match is, as I mentioned, you got 3 titles on a line. Stone Cold Steve Austin as the champion, and Triple H as the Intercontinental Champion versus Undertaker and Kane, the Tag Team Champion. So that was the main event for that. I'm going to continue on now to Judgment Day 2001. As you see there, the 2-man power trip. And still, these are the very rare WWF DVDs. It's transitioning over to WWE soon. I believe that was around 2002-ish. But the main event for this one here, with Judgment Day 2001, was the no-holds-barred match for the WWF Championship between Stone Cold and The Undertaker, and Triple H versus Kane for the Intercontinental. Those were the 2 main events as the 2-man power trip. Situation storyline going on. And then we're continuing on to King of the Ring. I have a phone call. I'm just going to decline it right here. Boop. Actually, I don't know. That might be my work. So if I decline it, they're going to be like, oh, he's just declining it. I'll just let it go through. But here we have the 2001 King of the Ring right here. And the main event for this one was the triple threat match for the WWF Championship between Stone Cold versus Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. And then we have here the Invasion pay-per-view they did between WCW, ECW, and WWF. This is after when WWF bought WCW during 2001. And the main event for that, you already know, was you had the WCW champion Booker T, Diamond Dallas Page, Rhino, and Dudley Boys versus Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle. Not versus Kurt Angle. Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, and Kane. And this is when Austin, again, from coming from heel to being a face, he transitioned back to being a good guy, which, I mean, the fans still loved him no matter what. And during this, he, of course, turned on Team WWF and became heel again. And then we have here SummerSlam 2001, somewhat continuing on the whole WCW angle. No, for some reason, I was thinking of Survivor Series. My bad. My bad. I think I had my events mixed up. I think Survivor Series. No, never mind. I was right. All right, never mind. I was right. Survivor Series was Austin as a heel. All right, so I got that right. I got it right. All right. Now continue on to SummerSlam 2001. The main event here was the WCW Championship between Booker T and The Rock, and the WWF Championship between Austin and Kurt Angle. And that continues on to Unforgiven 2001. Austin's still a heel. The main event was Austin versus Kurt Angle for the WWF Championship match. And then we have WWF No Mercy 2001 right here. I believe I have almost the whole year of 2001 on DVD. The main event here was the triple threat between Austin, Rob Van Dam, and Kurt Angle. And The Rock and Jericho for the WCW Championship, I believe. Yes, I'm right. And here we have Never Seen in the USA. This was not a show that they had in the US. It was an event that took place in the UK. They released him on DVD and VHS usually, but they never had him on broadcast TV in the US. And the main event for this one was the WWF Championship between Stone Cold and The Rock. And then we continue on to Survivor Series here, 2001. Winner takes all. You got Team WCW being led by Austin. And, of course, The Rock leading Team WWF. And the main event here was, of course, that match. And then we continue on to Vengeance 2001 for the Undisputed Championship, of course. And this was, I believe, the debut of the NWO and WWF. And you had Stone Cold versus Jericho, final championship match to determine the undisputed champion. And NWO came out and destroyed Austin, I believe, if I remember correctly. So that was the dawn of the NWO era. Then here we have the 2002 Royal Rumble, so now 2002 is beginning. And this one here, if I remember correctly, I believe Austin won this one as well. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Like I said, my mind is somewhat fogged between events. But I do remember Austin and Triple H basically... I think Triple H might have won this one. We had Austin and Triple H kind of doing moments together, throwing wrestlers out together at the same time. That was one of the moments I remember. And the main event here was the Undisputed Championship between Jericho and The Rock. And then it leads to No Way Out 2002. Of course, NWO making their appearance, making their presence known and be felt. And for the main event here, we had Jericho versus Austin for the Undisputed Championship. Let's see. Or maybe No Way Out is when NWO made their appearance felt. Maybe I'm confusing it with Vengeance 2001. Again, guys, you're going to roast me for this. I know you are, but that's all right. My memory is not very detailed when it comes to past wrestling events like it used to be. I'm getting old. I remember as much as I can. But leave some comments down below correcting whatever I am wrong with. Confirm if I am right. I'm not 100% sure. Please let me know in the comments down below. And here we continue on with WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 2002. Of course, you see Icon versus Icon, Hogan versus The Rock, that being the main event. And then you had Undisputed Championship Jericho with Stephanie versus Triple H. And this is when Stone Cold versus Scott Hall. I believe that was kind of like the downfall of his career. He was getting sick of the booking, and that's when he did his walkout and made his return in 2003. We'll get to that in the future with my collection, you know. But here, we got Backlash 2002. The main event here was the Undisputed Championship, Triple H versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And then we have another UK event, Insurrection. Insurrection and Rebellion was the names for the UK events. And the main event here was Triple H versus The Undertaker. And then another one, Stone Cold versus Big Show. And this one here is very, very rare. I believe this was a WWE shop exclusive. As you can see, they already transitioned to WWE. We got Judgment Day 2002. And you had the main event being the Undisputed Championship of Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker. And I believe this is when, where is it? Austin versus Big Show and Ric Flair. And that continues on to King of the Ring 2002. Basically, this is when Austin already, as they say, took his ball and walked out or went home. They wanted him, basically, the story behind that, they wanted Austin to lose to Brock Lesnar in a King of the Ring qualifying match. Austin was already unhappy with some of the booking happening, and he just was not he was not having it. He did not want to lose to Brock Lesnar, someone who's just entering WWE, and Austin being at his prime. They're like, yeah, you're going to lose to this guy in a qualifying match. Like, so I don't blame Austin. He could have probably dealt with it in a different way, in a better way, but that was the main story behind that. But the main event here for King of the Ring 2002, we have Undertaker versus Triple H for the Undisputed Championship. I'm probably going to go up through 2002 and then make a second part of the video in the future. I'm just going to leave this all as one part, the first part. So here we have Vengeance 2002. This, I believe, was another WWE shop exclusive. Very rare and hard to find, of course. And the main event here was the triple threat match for the Undisputed Championship between Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and The Rock. And then another UK event, in Melbourne. I don't think this was UK. This might have been Canada or something. But you had the Global Warning Tour. And the main event here was the triple threat match for the Undisputed title between The Rock, Triple H, and Brock Lesnar. And then we have SummerSlam 2002. This is when... These are still somewhat rare, but this is the less rare of the WWF DVDs, or WWE DVDs, I should say. Closer towards 2003, they're not as hard to find. Like online, you can find them for good prices. Just put it that way. But you get, of course, the Undisputed Championship match between The Rock and Brock. It's got a ring there, doesn't it? Brock and Rock. And then it goes on to Unforgiven 2002. Right here. We got the main event being for the championship, the WWE Championship between Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. And then we have No Mercy 2002 right here. You see Kane's mask on the front there. Main event being Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell match. Was a really good match, I'll tell you that. And again, we got another UK event, Rebellion 2002. And the main event being the Handicap Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman versus Edge. Yes, very random, I know. And then we got Survivor Series 2002. Elimination Chamber match being the main event, of course. You got Triple H, Jericho, Kane, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, and Shawn Michaels. And that was it for the 2002. So we're going to end this video here, and then I'll have like a few more other videos continuing on my wrestling collection here. So basically you guys saw, that reminds me, this here, as you can see, from the side here, with the months and the dates. Raw, SmackDown. On a website, I actually was able to find, and you can see on the back here, the pay-per-views. I have the whole year of 1999 events. Raw, SmackDown, all the pay-per-views. I have all of them through the whole year of 99. That's what's on these right here. I was able to find it. The website doesn't sell movies anymore, but it was a website where people were allowed to sell bootlegs. But of course, years later, they did something about it, and now people aren't selling them on there. But that is a bootleg version. I was able to get a hold of that for $65. Guys, a whole year of 1999 pay-per-views, Raw and SmackDown, every episode. Yes. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to throw that out there. I totally forgot I had it set aside here. I was too busy and focused on the main authentic DVDs, but I just wanted to put that out there. So guys, if you really enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up. And like I said, in the comments down below, let me know if you have any of these in your collection. If you're still looking for them, don't give up. You'll find them. Just don't spend an arm and a leg on them. I was able to get all these rare DVDs at decent prices. Sorry, I got the hiccups again. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below if I should even bother continuing on with other parts of this video for the rest of my collection. Let me know in the comments down below. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I will not release another part of this video unless you guys show some love in the comments down below and let me know if you want to see some more. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. And then I'll continue on and show my whole wrestling collection. If not, if I don't get much of a reaction for it, then maybe I'll put the rest of them up. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know. But if you're not subscribed, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Check out my other videos. I do unboxings. I show some of my collection. Twitch streams, out and abouts, Pokemon Go related videos, wrestling related videos, of course. I do a whole bunch of stuff. Look at my playlist. Look at my other videos. And if you like them, please subscribe. Hit that notifications bell as a Taco Bell notification pops up on my phone here. Trying to get me to order some food and want some tacos. But guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you are all staying safe. I will see you all on the next one, guys. Take care.